Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Gaijin has announced their new event. Obviously the Flapjack event, the Dreams Come True event has just finished, and now it's time for the Fast and Dangerous event, which is for the R400. Now, the R400, it's a German light tank, and this thing is going to be good. Just as somebody who's played through a lot of German vehicles and also understands the power of the Radkampfwagen, which a lot of people think is overtiered, but it just isn't. It's a very, very powerful vehicle. The R400 is coming in and looking very similar. You can see that this is a German vehicle from 1986 and was a prototype experimental one, very similar to the Radkampfwagen in its general setup. So this event is going to start on the 19th, so it's going to be next week. It's going to go until the 3rd of December, and also it's going to be a lot easier to grind than I actually thought this type of vehicle would be. Basically, this one is going to be a rank 6 event vehicle. That means that the vehicle is not going to be a premium. Instead, it's just going to be a standard vehicle. You're going to have to grind out the modifications for it. You won't get the premium bonuses, which kind of sucks, but I feel like this vehicle is generally going to be okay anyway, just wandering around the place. You can see that it has the L7 105. It's a fantastic gun used by millions of vehicles in the game right now. It will also have great mobility because of the chassis, and also just a little machine gun on the top. Also seems to have this weird optical thing here. I wonder if this is a gunner sight or what this is, but we'll have to have a look. There's also a coaxial gun here, which also will be nice. Smoke grenades, which is not always a standard on many premiums, and that will be lovely too. Now this L7, they actually do go into it. So the vehicle is getting access to not just TFS, not just hash, but also 2 types of APFSDS. And one of those is the DM33 for the 105. So this thing is definitely going to be like 9.7 or 9.3 or 10.0. My guess would be 9.7 with this thing, just because it's given DM33. And if you have a look at the Radkampfwagen, it's very similar in terms of how it's set up. Just remember, this is also a light tank, which means that it has scouting, it has access, to the drone at rank 6, and generally will be pretty fun because of those things. So this vehicle having the 105L7, it says that it has the good high rate of fire. I mean, it'll have the same rate of fire, I think, as all of the other L7s in the game, which is the 8.7 standard reload, which is a good reload, but if everything else has it, then it's not exactly a fantastic one. I don't think this thing has like an auto loader or anything like that. I think it's just a manual loader. So yeah, it just seems a little bit odd to be able to mention that. The other thing is, since this is a rank 6 vehicle and not higher, it's going to have stock heat FS. It'll have a rank 1 APFSDS and a rank 4 APFSDS. So your rank 1 one will probably either be like DM13 or DM23, or probably DM23, and then the rank 4 modification will be DM33. Both will be completely fine at being able to deal with everything. The major issue with this vehicle is stuff like the T80UD, for example, but overall it'll be fine. Like, it'll be able to do exactly what you need it to do, be mobile, and take shots from the flanks. You can also see that it's probably going to have some pretty good gun depression, as long as this area doesn't get in the way, because the front is pretty sloped. I doubt there's a lot of armor on this thing. Usually these vehicles are generally built for speed, but one of the cool things about the Radkampfwagen, which is probably the closest vehicle right now in War Thunder to compare to this, the Radkampfwagen, surprisingly, actually has a bit of armor on the front. So it breaks the trend of a lot of light tanks with the amount of armor it has. Maybe that's what's going to happen with this vehicle, but probably not. It's probably not going to be that good. In terms of the other parts of the actual event itself. So first of all, it's a pretty standard event. It's a 35,000 mission point event, which is super surprising. I thought this would be like a 40,000, 45,000, but no, it's a 35,000. It's the same as the Flapjack and also same as the vehicle before. So maybe every event now is just going to be a 35,000 event. You have to grind this in ground battles. If you've done any of the events over the last few years, this is the same. So it's the same same like setup, same standard, and it's obviously gives you when all the stages are. It's 7 stages to be able to get access to the R400, but along the way you get some decals, you get some rewards, and then also you get access to the experimental rifle. You can see all of the additional things here. The experimental rifle looks like something straight out of like Wolfenstein or straight out of, I don't know, like Starship Troopers. And then also, if this is based on a real thing, I would love to know. I'm not a huge gun nut. I know there's a lot of guys out there. Is this actually a thing? It looks so... It's one of those like sci-fi things, you know, it looks like so futuristic. Then we have the R400 Chevron, the Heer German Army, which sounds really funny. And the emblem of the Bundeswehr anti-tank units. I really like this chevron. I really like kind of the flowers or, you know, the setup on the sides. I really like the spears. And of course, the Radkampfwagen in the center with a million optics ports. This looks awesome. This is probably, if the R400 wasn't in, this would be, for me, worth doing the event for, which I know sounds weird, but it looks really cool to me. So yeah, the other prizes are really cool. The actual like event box thing that they're doing is the same as always, with all of the standard stuff, so that is not changing. And also, what isn't changing is the discounts you can get. So if you grind out a mission score star or, you know, stage, and you only get 85% of the way through it, then the purchase of it by Golden Eagles is halved. And then if you get 95% of the way through it, it is basically 20% of the overall cost, 199 Golden Eagles, just to give you a little bit of a setup on it. The upgrade for the coupon also is back once again for this. So 600,000 mission points throughout the whole event to be able to get the coupon for it, which once again, compared to a lot of the other events, isn't as much. And I feel like is a lot easier to do for this vehicle. They're really trying to make this one as accessible as they can be. And I wonder why, because usually this type of event will be a lot harder than this. So yeah, the vehicle itself is looking fantastic. I'm wondering if there's going to be an issue with it, if they're putting it at this high BR, and if they're comparing it and giving it really good rounds. My feeling is the only issue it's going to have is it might be a bit too high BR in terms of its armor to be useful, because there are some light tanks around, you know, 10.0, 10.3, 10.7, which are really good at kind of clattering vehicles like this. But since it has the 105L7, and since they've already said it's going to have the DM33, the DM33, that doesn't matter. This thing's going to be great. So I would highly recommend this event, even without looking at a lot of its other factors. Like maybe it has an issue with reverse, maybe it has an issue with targeting speed, but we'll find those things out later on when it comes to the game. This vehicle is looking really, really nice, and the event itself is not looking too hard to do. So, you know, book your time off for the 19th of November, and let's get this thing ground out. Let's have a good time. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank GMG Smiley, CD Beans, Chieftain Mike, EMN3 Galaxy, Tulio Pontecorvo, Brendan Quinn, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Wartinder, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, B. Young, Ozzy Panzer, Alan Hacker, Liam Shear, Opium Prime, Lafouche, Sem, Aslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R. for supporting the channel.